Hi, I'm Gary Eischeid, General Manager at Poet Biorefining in Gallery, Iowa. And I'd like to talk to you today, first of all, about the importance of Career Day. For you parents out there, as well as the students, Career Day is going to be a very, very important day for not only the young adult, the student, as well as the parents. And I encourage you parents, feel free to attend this Career Day with your son or daughter. Students, Career Day will give you an opportunity to help the thought process as you go into trying to make a decision. What do I want to do in my life? Because you're at a point in your life, you're probably asking yourself, what do I want to do? What do I want to spend the rest of my life at doing? How do I want to contribute to this country? Career Day will definitely help you with that process because it's going to give you exposure to all the different companies and different types of job opportunities that are out there. For example, what I want to talk about is Poet Biorefining in general. Our mission here at Poet is we primarily make ethanol. We purchase grain, we bring the grain in, we grind it, we make ethanol, we make DDGs, which is the Dakota Gold distilleries, and we make corn oil. That's the three primary things that we make here at our Poet plant here in Gallery, Iowa. I currently have 44 teammates that are on the payroll at this facility. Those positions consist of a technical manager. The technical manager has a operations manager, a quality manager, and an environmental health and safety specialist that reports to this position. I have a maintenance manager. The maintenance manager has a maintenance supervisor as well as 8 maintenance techs and a inventory clerk and a janitor / grounds keeper that report to this position. We also have what we call a commodities manager here. And this individual has a grain buyer that reports to him. He has a commodity supervisor that has 4 commodity assistants that report to that position. And finally, we have a controller. The controller has to have a degree in finance, and this position has a accounting assistant that reports to it as well. Now, let me talk just briefly about these positions and what they do. I'd mentioned plant operators. Plant operators have to have the basic computer skills, and they have to have a high school diploma to qualify for that particular position. They work 12-hour shifts. They work 2 days on, 2 days off, and it rotates every 6 weeks from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. to 7 p.m. to 7 a.m. So they're 2 days on, 2 days off, and they have every other Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that they're off for the weekend. We also have a quality manager position that has 2 lab technicians that report to it. The quality manager has to have a degree in chemistry, and then the 2 lab techs that report to this position have to have a high school diploma. And we also have in the operations area what we call an EH&S specialist that stands for environmental, health, and safety. And this position has to have a high school diploma, and they're responsible for the environmental if we were to have spills, and they're most importantly responsible for the safety of each and every one of our teammates and any guests that we have on the property. The maintenance manager, as I mentioned earlier, has a maintenance supervisor that reports to that position. The maintenance supervisor provides supervision of the 8 maintenance techs. The maintenance technicians have to also have a high school diploma to work here, and they also work on the 12-hour shift, 2 days on and 2 days off. And their skills are involved with operating and understanding boilers. They have to have the basic understanding of electricity, the mechanics that involves in hydraulics and valves. They need to know how to go out and make those kinds of repairs. We also have an inventory clerk that is responsible for the receipts of UPS or American Federal Express on all shipments that come in. The inventory clerk receives those shipments, verifies that we've gotten them, and gets them put away in the proper location so that when the parts are needed, we can easily find them. The inventory clerk is also responsible for all the parts that are removed from storage and used for repairs in the plant, so we can always maintain exactly what we have for material. The commodities manager is responsible for buying the grain, and this position has a grain buyer that reports to it. These 2 positions, the commodities manager and the grain buyer, they maintain contact with who we call the producers, which are the farmers out there that we purchase our grain from. They will call them and share with them what we're paying for a bushel of grain, and then the decision is made and the contract's drawn up, and we purchase the grain. We also have a scale operator. This person weighs the trucks as they come in and then weighs them again when they leave after they've emptied their product, and then they're paid accordingly. The commodity supervisor has 4 commodity assistants that report to that position. The 4 commodities assistants, you have to have a high school diploma for that. And what they primarily do is operate equipment like a skid loader, front end loader, and they load and unload rail cars and trucks. It's a very skilled position that they have, and it's a very dangerous one, but you have to have a high school diploma to qualify for the interview for that position as well. And finally, the controller's position. She basically controls all financial, keeping track of the financial books, everything that we purchase, all of our receipts, as well, and she has an accounting assistant to help with that process as well. The controller, as I mentioned earlier, has to have a degree in finance, and the accounting assistant has to also have a degree in finance. As you've probably realized, I've talked about a high school diploma several times. For all of these positions that I've talked about, you must have a high school diploma. So I strongly encourage you, no matter where you're at, if you're a freshman, sophomore, junior, or senior, do not consider dropping out of high school for any reason. You must get your high school diploma if you're going to have an opportunity to be able to knock on a door and say, I want to come and work for you. The high school diploma is a must, so please keep that as your #1 priority as you go forward in making your decision. And I want to reemphasize some of the skilled positions that I have there in the upper management position or level as well. As I mentioned, the general manager's position that I hold, you must have a minimum as a 4-year bachelor's degree in business, and they would prefer that you have an MBA, which is a master's in business associations, which I have. The technical manager, who is our on-site engineer, must have an engineering degree in chemistry. The quality manager must have a 4-year degree in chemistry, and the controller, as I mentioned, has to have a degree in finance as well as the accounting assistant. So, in closing, I can't emphasize enough, you must get your high school diploma. And last but not least, parents, I encourage you, please encourage your son or daughter to come to this career day to get exposed to what's out there for them, all the different opportunities. And I want to encourage you, feel free to come and walk with them, because your son or daughter may have some questions that you may be able to assist with. Thank you for your time.